Have you ever found yourself in a relationship where you constantly feel uncertain, like you're walking on eggshells, unsure of where you stand? If so, you might be dating someone with an avoidant attachment style.
And if you have an anxious attachment style, this is one of the most challenging relationship dynamics to be in. In this video, we'll help you recognize the 5 key signs of avoidant attachment through real life scenarios so you can better understand what might be happening in your relationship. Let's dive in.
They send mixed messages about their feelings or commitment towards you in the relationship. You may feel like they have one foot out the door, and then they may tell you of an interest in creating plans for a far off time, such as taking a vacation next year. Have you ever experienced something like this? You're excited after a romantic dinner when your partner says, "We should take a trip to Italy next year." You feel hopeful, thinking this means they see a future with you. But then a week later, when you mention planning it, they respond, "Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm not sure we're ready for that." Their behavior leaves you confused about where you stand.
You may hear them repeatedly share a strong desire for an ideal relationship. For example, having someone be their true soulmate and partner, and at the same time, drop subtle hints that it's not you. Here's a situation you may have found yourself in. During a conversation about love, your partner says, "I just want to find someone who really gets me, someone who can be my true soulmate." You feel a pang of unease as they add, I think you're great, but I think sometimes we're just so different." It's like they're holding on to an idealized image of the one while quietly implying that you're not it.
They might indicate a desperate desire to meet the one, but all reasons as to why this has not worked out are always external, such as they just haven't found them yet, or they thought they had, but there was this one thing. Here's something you may have heard. They share stories of past relationships saying things like, "I thought they were the one, but they didn't share my love for adventure," or "we just weren't aligned." When you ask what went wrong, they blame external factors: timing, location, their ex's quirks, never reflecting on their own patterns.
When you bring up concerns to them, they'll often tell you that you're being too needy or sensitive, dismissing your concerns and invalidating your feelings. Here's another situation that might feel familiar. You tell them you feel hurt when they cancel plans last minute. Instead of listening, they respond with, "You're overreacting. I just needed space. Why do you always make things so dramatic?" Their reaction not only invalidates your experience, but also makes you second guess whether your needs are reasonable.
They will address any grievances you have as if you're in a court of law. This means they will respond to any concerns you express strictly with facts, ignoring your feelings, thoughts, or any context. For example, you share that you've been feeling disconnected and would love to spend more quality time together. Rather than empathizing, they counter with, "We went to dinner last Thursday and I texted you twice yesterday. I don't see how you can say that I'm not present." Their focus on facts ignores the emotional context of your concerns, or what John Gottman calls the longing in the complaint.
The biggest takeaway is that none of these examples are concerning in and of themselves. It's that they represent the emotional stance avoidants often have towards you and the relationship. If any of these signs resonate with you, it's important to remember that avoidant attachment isn't about malice. It's often rooted in deep fears of vulnerability and intimacy.
The key is to recognize these patterns early so that you can decide whether this dynamic aligns with your emotional needs and relationship goals. Continue to tune in as we explore strategies for navigating these relationships and protecting your well being. And remember, you're not alone. We're all in this
Together.
together.